Going live, gentlemen, and Mr. Chair, we are live.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. I want to thank the members of the Parks and Recreation Committee for attending today's meeting. I very much appreciate it. We have two orders of businesses today. We have a closed door session, of course we have an open session. And I think what we'll do is we'll deal with the open door session first, if that's okay with Kevin, Peter,
Yes.
Frank, if that's okay. Bobby, is that okay with you?
Perfect, yeah.
Okay, okay, so what we'll do, the first thing that needs to be done is call the meeting to order.
Sorry, Counselor, if
Sorry.
you turn up, Counselor Duran on my phone, can you put the volume up high?
Can you hear me, Bob?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Just hand the phone to Frank for a second. He just wants to make sure it's turned up because it has to be picked up by the microphones.
Okay, where? Yeah.
But they'll pick up from you.
That's an old relic, that's about 4 years old.
It is too, eh?
It is. See, at least,
Never mind,
okay,
just let it go.
You still there, Bob?
you got him on.
I don't know, what's causing that?
Yeah, I'll have to call him back. Bob, you there?
Yeah, I'm there now. You-
Okay, he just pressed the mute button.
Speaker.
Yeah, just try and turn the volume up, Bobby.
Yeah. It's an old relic,
Weird
Frank.
volume is, I can't even see where it's at.
No, it's right there. Oh, yeah, I see. Can you hear us now, Bob?
We're not able to hear him now, this is what's happening.
Okay, Bob, are you there? Okay. Let's try that again. Speak up, Bob.
It's going the wrong way.
No, it's going,
Here.
just one sec, Bob. Just be. Okay, try now.
No, something's not even working on it.
It's an old phone.
Try yours, maybe.
Bobby?
Yes.
Bob, I'll tell you what, Peter, can you hang up and then Peter's gonna phone you right now? Okay, he's gonna phone you right now.
His volume button's not working.
Yeah.
Properly?
You new one, dog?
It says it's turning up, but it's not.
Yeah, oh, it's an old relic. Cuts out on me, phoned you, for whatever reason.
Every day. You always pocket dial me. I suggest Counselor Tripp. Counselor, how are you?
Yeah, great, yourself?
Good, thank you. Just stand by, please.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
all right,
Complex.
you ready to go?
we are live, Mr. Chairman.
Can you hear us, Bob?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Declarations of conflicts of interest.
Councilor Twill, I'd have to say I would be in a conflict with the one of the resolutions there.
Okay,
Family member has won the contract.
okay, what's that got to do with you though?
Hermitage Creek.
Hermitage Creek Trial Restoration?
So if a family member has a contract, then he will not be able to bid on that, Mr. Chairman.
No, he won the contract, did he? Right?
We're recommending.
Oh, okay.
It's a resolution to council, so
So-
he'll be in conflict.
So you'll be in a conflict. Okay, Bobby.
So the problem with that, Mr. Chairman, being that there's only 3 of you here, the intent would be if you can't vote, you won't have a quorum.
Okay.
That means that this would automatically go to finance anyway.
Okay, is that okay, Bob?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Approval of the agenda, I would just like to add one item, quick item, if that's okay, committee. I'd like to add, Frank, the pathways off of Oliver Park that would take you all the way through to John Street Park, and then of course the 1911 jail. The pathways, I have a request from residents that would like the pathways to be open during the wintertime. People walk there, they walk there, and they would like to continue their exercise and that commitment to their routine all year round. So I said I would bring it up at the Parks and Recreation Committee meeting. So if that's okay with the committee, that'll be on the agenda. Thank you. Thank you. So we have approved the agenda, so moved by Kevin,
Yes.
second by Bob.
Yes.
Thank you. Adoption of the minutes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, moved by Kevin,
great.
second by Bob. Is there any business arising from the minutes, Kevin?
See you none?
Oh,
Are you okay, Bob?
great.
Okay, thank you. Okay, reports. Request to close the Victoria Park inside lane for this year-round, as a pilot project. I asked our manager to put this on. Mr. Kelly, as you can recall, I discussed this with you and Frank Quinn a number of months ago to bring this forward. I'll kick it off, Frank, and then you can jump in. Many residents were very pleased with the aim towards Active for Transportation this year, which meant a number of user groups had the ability and the legal right to be able to utilize the inside lane. That's walkers, that's joggers, skateboarders. If you look at it, this year, we've had people utilizing the inside track or the inside lane, and there was a heavy concentration of our senior citizens. I would see them out early in the morning with their walkers enjoying it. They felt more comfortable on the inside lane than they did the boardwalk. And I've talked to a number of residents over the past number of months. They believe that it would be advantageous to have the inside lane shut off all year round permanently. I suggested that I'm in favor of that as well, but I think usually our strategy, Frank, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we would try things on a pilot project to at least to explore and to experiment and to try it for the year. And I think it would be a great step forward. I know a lot of people are really enjoying the inside lane for recreational activities, whether it be passive, whether it be active. They welcome that opportunity to be able to utilize that venue. And Frank, I'm going to turn it over to you to further expand upon the positive attributes of moving this project forward.
All right, so if you just go into your package there, it'd be the after the minutes. There's a short report that I've done up, and it more or less just provides the basic details. So it's more or less that, as Councillor Tweel referred to, that we forwarded this on to the committee for the consideration. If this initiative is supported, staff does have some concerns with winter maintenance, and just because it is a roadway.
Yeah.
But having said that, so they're looking to close it year-round as a pilot project for the upcoming late fall season and winter season. The inside lane is temporarily closed right now from May 1st to October 31st to be used as a bike lane or wheeling lane. In 2020 season, as Councillor Tweel alluded, the period was extended and closed from April 1st till scheduled to be closed to October 31st. And this was to be used as an active transportation pathway, so the uses were expanded, and it was in part due to COVID to allow more separation and whatnot. It's been noted that the lane could be used year-round for active transportation such as walking, jogging, biking, and other wheeling activities. It is being suggested that the closure could be tried as a pilot project for 2020 season, November 1st to April 30th. The city would monitor and evaluate this closure and put forward a recommendation for the PRLA committee and council's consideration. So if there was a further, right now it's the recommendation now is to look at
Pilot.
this pilot here.
So, Mr. Chair, this is all well and good, but it also have to be passed through Public Works as it is a roadway under normal use and function, and so it should go to them just for their concurrent and then onward to council.
Okay.
And along with that, so to be yes, I noted at the bottom there, which I forgot about Public Works, but if the committee supports this year-round closure as a pilot, then this would be forwarded to council for consideration. But it would have to be forwarded to Public Works as well. I missed that because it is
So-
a roadway.
So, thank you, Mr. Kelly. So, with that in mind, would that be possible to happen before the council meeting on Monday night?
So we'll check with the chair to see if he's prepared to put out a email to the committee members,
Yeah.
asking them for their buy-in to that process. And
Yeah.
if they agree, then that can go to council.
Okay, so we'd be bringing in, the Parks would be bringing in the resolution?
Correct.
Okay, please do that, Mr. Kelly. Is that okay with you?
Yeah,
Dennis?
and just to,
First, we have to see if the committee supports.
Oh, yeah,
this.
yeah, okay.
yeah, just to
That's
see,
sort of the important part.
and just sort of reflect,
Yeah,
and the amount of people that are saying they love to see it closed,
yeah.
there's just as many saying they can't wait till it opens also. So,
I have.
I mean, I'm hearing that too, Mitch, so
I know, but
I'm just being fair by throwing.
I know, but you know what, Kevin? I spent the whole summer in the park.
Yeah,
And I can tell you from the information I have, people are looking forward to it. I mean, as I mentioned about the demographics, I can tell you, gentlemen, and Bobby, I can tell you that, I was actually taken back by the amount of seniors that use the inside lane. And actually, I've had a bunch of seniors, believe it or not, prefer walking on the pavement. And I think I mentioned this to you, Peter, back a few months ago, or Frank, either one of you gentlemen, that they like walking on the pavement better than the boardwalk for whatever reasons. They feel more comfortable, they feel more safer. I think this would be a great welcome addition to one of the features in the park, and it paves the way for for what can be done for years to come. So, Kevin, if I have your approval.
well, it has to go to Public Works.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but-
Just to provide a couple other comments too. So
Yeah.
when we said winter maintenance concerns, that's one of
Yeah.
the concerns we have.
Yeah.
But also there is some areas of the roadway that there's no real barrier blocking people off
Yeah.
from walking in front of the pool, because you can't leave up those dividers over the winter months. So that would be somewhat of a concern we have depending on the road conditions, if the roads are slippery and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And then also up in front of the area that's, you turn into the
Down the
current
lane,
driveway.
Yeah,
So there's a couple areas that we just, you'd have to see, because any kind of dividers would have to put up can't hinder winter maintenance.
No, no,
Snow
no, no,
removal,
no, no.
salting the road and that kind of thing. So
What-
those are just some logistical things that would have to be, I think, worked out.
but
I
it's,
know there's a lot, there's needs for everything in the city, but I'm not a big favor of it.
but would you support it going to Public Works?
I'll support it going to Public Works, definitely.
Okay, that's fine. Bobby, you okay?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
So we should move the motion that referred to.
Public Works?
And then onward to council if there is concurrence.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
And again,
That's
it's
fair,
it's a
Bob.
trial run.
yeah. And just see what they have to say about it, because they know all about the streets and everything, do they not?
Yes.
Public Works, you know, like, and we're not engineers and all that stuff, so, yeah, I think it's great moving on to Public Works.
Okay,
Excellent.
thank you.
Should call for questions, Chairman.
I'm sorry,
Should call for questions.
question?
Question called. That we move to Public Works for their consideration.
Okay, Bobby, second that?
Sure.
Sold.
Sold. Whew.
Okay, the next item is to request the Parks and Recreation Department to keep the pathways from, we have two pathways in all of our park, which eventually take you to the walkways around John Street Sports Field.
Chair, I think first we still have to mention, don't mention it all, do we?
Which one?
The Hermitage Creek.
So,
It's off the table.
Because you won't have, if Councilor.
We don't form them, Frank.
If
Okay.
Councilor needs, you don't have.
If Councilor draws
quorum,
some
so
color.
it will just automatically go to.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
So what we should do is give it to the rest of the committee, this committee.
Yes.
For them to agree and then forward on to finance. And that way, Councilor Drawn stays out of
Okay, all right.
conflict.
Okay, I will send an email, I'll send it out to everyone, everyone's got it here, but I'll just ask for your,
Yeah,
okay, great, thank you for that clarification.
okay.
So all of our pathways, Mr. Chair,
Pardon me.
all of our pathways.
Yes, the pathways, we have a running track, walking track, Peter, beginning at the playground Oliver Park, that eventually takes you all the ways to the big sports field behind the 1911 jail. And we have a track around both sports fields, and then you can walk across the parking lot, which connects you to the rails and trails. So it's a natural progression to the rails and trails. Residents in the community are asking, because they utilize that all times during the day, during this time of the year, during the summer, the fall, the spring. They would like to be able to continue on and have sidewalk plow or whatever plow we use for the rails and trails, whatever we do for the, whatever machine we use for the 4 heritage squares. They want to keep those walking paths open all year round so that they can be able to get their exercise and to be able to do that on a daily basis.
So we never ever sort of kept them clean all the years?
No.
No.
I talked about it before, but now there's a real,
I just thought all paths were cleared.
no, well, not all, no. So, with a real conscious effort for health and wellness, the folks that live in this particular community would like them pathways open all year round. I think it's a reasonable request, and they would welcome that opportunity to continue on with their exercise. It's safe. It's a very safe venue. They don't have to worry about walking, and competing with oncoming traffic or vehicle traffic. And again, as I mentioned, the pathways from Oliver Park all the ways over to the, eventually takes you to the rails and trails. It's a natural progression. Rails and Trails, as you know, is probably one of their most active venues here in the city and in the province. And the trails lends, not only complements it, but gives the people in the community that safe assurance to be able to use the venues all year round. So I bring that forward.
Frank,
for the committee's consideration, and I can tell you the residents are very keen on this.
So will that be under our Parks and Recreation staff to do that, Frank?
So that, we'd have to look at, we don't necessarily have the manpower, and that's the equipment, that's gonna be the issue, but it's also, part of it has to do with the surface of the trails. They're not made to necessarily put heavy equipment on them when they're freezing thaws in the wintertime.
Right.
Right now, anywhere where we have sidewalk plows going through, for example, like Frank McCauley Park, it connects right through the park. There's an asphalt pad there, asphalt pathway that allows they can do that. The squares are all asphalt. Down in Victoria Park, we have a few areas down there that are asphalt or boardwalk. But for our equipment, the size of the equipment we have, I'm not sure if it's doable. And
It's wide enough.
What's that?
Those pathways are wide enough.
Well, no, it's
the
the
base.
it's the heaviness in the base equipment. So I'll have to bring this back to staff and we'll have to discuss it
Yeah,
and
that'd
see
be a
what is
good idea.
doable. But usually pathways that are open in the wintertime are usually connector points to different locations.
Well, I just mentioned one.
Yeah.
I mentioned one, the pathways that from Oliver Park, all the ways past the playing fields, all the ways to the rails and trails.
Yeah, but that means you would have to have those areas all plowed as well.
Yeah.
Connected.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a whole bunch of points in between where there is no path, so so anyway, we'd have to bring it back and look from a
I
staff
would,
standpoint.
yeah, that's what I would suggest.
So-
Take it back and see what the
But
staff
there-
says about it.
But there is path, there's 2 paths.
There's a path around the fields, they go around the fields, they go around the fields, and there's 2 joiners in between, but at the end, you get to the end, there's really, the access point is very
It's just
narrow.
right across the parking lot to the trail.
Yeah, so the parking lot would have to be cleaned out. So anyway, the fact it's on, I'd have to take it back to staff to look at it because
Yeah.
it is, it's a different surface than the asphalt surface.
Right.
And then even the Confederation Trail, which is extremely.
Well, that's right, that's not paved.
No, but you didn't let me finish. It's has an extremely durable base because it's an old rail yard, and the rock dust on top of it is extremely thick and whatnot. So it stands up well to heavy equipment on it. So I'll take your request and
Okay.
we'll go back and review it.
That's a good request, by the
with
way.
staff. I agree.
Just that, we gotta have staff input on this stuff.
I agree, there's lots of paths that we'd love to be able to, I know
Well-
there's a few other ones that are going in this year that are gonna be asphalt, and I'm just waiting for the requests
Yeah.
for those to be looked at.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, that's one of the reasons why, Bobby, you can jump in here. That's one of the reasons why we enhanced the pathways in Centennial Park. And hopefully, in next year's budget, we'll be able to finish the work that needs to be done there. I thought, to be honest with you, that it was going to, all the pathways were going to be widened. But that didn't take place. But I think we got a good start on it, Bob.
Yes, I appreciate that, yeah.
We got a good start on it, and hopefully there'll be monies in the capital budget to finish that off. I think it looks pretty good so far, Bob.
Yeah, a lot of people are very positive about it. Can't wait to get out and walk and stuff like that. So it is very, very positive in the community. Mitchell, thank you very much.
And make sure you follow up there, Bob, to make sure it's in, the rest of that works in the capital project for next year.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. That's what I wanted to talk about under new business. Have a motion now to, Peter, move into
closed session. Mr.
closed session.
That's per section 190.
Move. Second?
Yeah,
Want to
second,
mention?
yeah.
There's nobody here anyway.
Oh,
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll move right along.
Just one moment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Once moving to close, did you already disconnect things?
Waiting for them to do the vote.
They just did, yeah.